What is good, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Foxy. Welcome back to the Fox's Den. Get into another reaction. Hell's Paradise, Season 2, Episode 21. Dude, the past couple episodes have been going off. Last episode in particular, I think, got the highest rating of the season yet, or maybe of the show yet. I don't know, but pretty much since this season started, it's been action-packed and non-stop, like, on to the next thing, like, try to figure out how to fight the Tensen, get the Elixir of Life, get the fuck out of here, while some other things are happening, too. This is starting to make me anxious, because I keep on talking about it at the start of each reaction to this fucking show, or at least in the past couple weeks. The newcomers, the few, Simon and the one that's leading them, and then the shinobi from Gabimaru's home village, Iwakagure, we have not seen them in a couple episodes. At least in the last two, they have not appeared at all. I think it was 3 episodes ago where we actually saw them land, and like they were making their, they're starting to witness what actually happened to the first people that came here, and making their way to try and find survivors and whatever. We have not seen them since then. So it's making me very anxious on when they're going to show up, because I feel like they're going to pull up, like, obviously, like, they're strong. So I feel like they're going to get through the doshi and whatever pretty easily. They have a substantial amount of forces. And then they're going to pull up to when we're having this very important fight with the Tensen. Like, bro, it's making me uneasy, because it's going to create even more chaos than we already have trying to lock in and focus against fighting these fucking Tensen. This is not an easy feat at all. Last episode in particular, we saw Chobe and Toma. They have officially reunited, and they were on the same fucking page from the moment they saw each other. Literally starts fucking up the blonde Tensen. I can't remember the blonde Tensen's name, but they start working together to fight him. And Chobe, was like, "Hey, thanks for taking care of my brother. Now we're back together. It's all good." You know what I'm saying? And he kind of used the Tensen to get stronger, but also learn more about Tao, his own Tao, and also just survive in general, because I'm sure if he didn't agree, they would have done whatever they wanted to do anyway. And then also just keep him confined, whereas he was free to move and they trusted him, obviously, because they're strong enough that they feel like they could take care of him whenever they needed to. So they started fighting, and then we also have Tao Fa, the pink-haired Tensen, and Tamiya and Fuchi fighting each other, and that was exciting in itself, because Fuchi and Tamiya particularly do not have the best grasp of using Tao, and they're learning it as this fight was going on. And it's really cool to see, because they didn't really have too much interest in learning, and also they were just bad at it, so they kind of just accepted defeat, like, well, if I'm bad at it, I don't really have any interest in it. And so now they're being forced to figure it out, because they're fighting somebody that is very capable with Tao, and they have no other choice if you want to live. Tamiya goes to the extreme and takes out his left eye, because he realized once his right eye was like kind of like blurred vision because of the blood and everything, he was able to see it. You got to kind of dampen your senses, as Shion would say, and just feel it. That's what helped him feel it and understand it. So he goes to the extreme, literally rips his fucking left eye out, and starts really being able to sense it, and saves Fuchi at the end. So I'm curious to see if we're going to get right back into that this episode, or we're going to jump somewhere else, because there's plenty of other battles that are happening too. So let's get into it. If you guys enjoy the reaction, please like down below, comment, subscribe if you're new, hit the notification bell so the next one's dropping. Let's get into it. Hell's Paradise, Season 2, Episode 21. They get both sensing. This is when he takes his eye out. He said, "Fuck it." Yo, soundtrack right now. Let's go, Tamiya. Oh my god. This is right where we left off. Bro, the animation and the drawing right there, that shit looks so sick, bro. Oh my god. Chrysanthemum and Peach. I don't even know what the fuck that first word is. Oh, are we getting a flashback for Tamiya? Oh, fuck yes. About time we learned a little bit more about him. Wanted to make a name for himself. And he's starting to get older. Just whooping shit. Yo, he moving different, bro. Oh, let's go, Tamiya. Nah, I'm fucking with this heavy. Yeah, it's playing right into her hands. We don't want him to waste all his energy, especially because she's probably capable of transforming. Is he about to use restoration, or is this what you're into? Hey, talk shit to hype him up too. Get it done. To be precise with these eyes. Close it. Yep, that's what I fucking... Bro, yes. Just feel it. Child's play, exactly like you said. Do we actually defeat her? Oh, he better lose his shit. Do either of them even have an attribute to fucking negate his? Oh, here we go. I thought he was already about to transform. We haven't caught up with them at all, really, since the end of 2 episodes ago. But I can agree with that, yeah, because he's super close with Tao Fa, who seems like she just died. Wait, what the fuck? Wait, is there... And left you by yourself. Is there they're about to transform. Their transformation relies on each other. You and I belong together. We'll crush them together. So it's about to be a fucking like 2v4, really a 1v4 once they transform. This shit about to be insane, bro. Okay, so they relied on each other to like make up for whichever one, you know, lacked in an area. Wow, Mei-san. That's very true. So yeah, Mei and Rian are really the oldest ones. The first change was Rian. Prototype Tensen. Did you just force him to grow up? Focus on your studies and teach each other. Yeah, the kindness disappeared from him. That makes sense. So it seems like same thing Mei was saying. Rian used to be a kind person, not fucking anymore. There was some sort of switch. Nobody seemed to care. Okay, so Tao Fa was actually kind of afraid of this type of stuff, and then Jufa like provided like protection or just somebody for her to lean on. Because he had a pretty close conversation with Mei, so yeah, he's saying like it seems like nobody cared that she disappeared. He's actually curious about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tao Fa's suffering was pointless. Okay, this is interesting. It seems like Jufa and Tao Fa literally don't get along and like don't feel like they belong in this circle of Tensen. He was doubting like are we the crazy ones? Like, no, you're not. This is kind of a human reaction, like how humans are supposed to be. I can't help imagining how they feel. Oh, okay, so she finally switched. Like the way she felt. Maybe just because she wanted to survive and purely be with him. If it came down whether to surviving or not. Totally. Dude, the animation, this shit looks amazing. She's actually shaking though. Less than livestock. They're ours to use. It's this world that's crazy. Yup. Are we finally gonna see this transformation between the two of them? What the fuck? Kishikai. Okay, so that's the name for the transformation. Alright, now do they have sense of self? Because it's two people transformed into one. Dodge that quick. Yet somehow seductive. That shit looks insane with the red moon behind it, bro. Oh my god. He's fiending, bro. Tamiya's ready for a good time. He don't give a fuck. What the hell? That can't be good. Pollinating the air. I can control this power. So what he's been doing, it's kind of like Kishikai, I think it's called. Kishikai Transformation. This is his transformation. Ooh. Yep. Ooh. Ooh, shit. Oh my god, bro. Damn. Is he even gonna be alive after this? Holy fuck, bro, the animation. Yo, is that the same building where Gabimaru is? Or no, that's where Fuchi... Okay, it's just the bottom of the building where they're at. That's for sure. You all gonna have to work together. And I don't owe you anything. Yo, that was so exaggerated. Yo, no, they all the same timing though. They're too much alike. Do it after. Fuck yeah. Yo, this is so lit. Let's go. Nah, that's so tough. These four are gonna go off, bro. I love it. I love it. Some sort of end credit. Thank you, finally, bro. Yes. The Doshi thing mentioned. Okay, yeah, so they've been moving on, fighting Doshi, interrogating the Doshi. One of them slipped up and told him where Horai is, and that's exactly where everybody else is. The personal effects of the expeditioners. Oh. Yeah, just more proof of a Simon dying and shit, yes. Oh, that's her brother? Word. Some were killed by criminals. See, this is just gonna get messier and messier, because as soon as they fucking see any of the criminals that are up in Horai, they're gonna try and kill them, rather than joining us and helping us fight the Tensen. It's just gonna make it even more messy. Which is exactly what the Shinobi want, because they also want to kill Gabimaru. That's what they're ordered to do. Like, they're just following orders to be able to do their own mission. This is fucked, bro. This is fucked. Oh, hell nah. Yo, they're on some other shit, bro. They're like speedrunning the island. What the fuck? Why didn't we not send this fucking force of, like, soldiers first? Why? Why? If we would have done that with this guy, if he didn't fucking leave right away with the purple-haired fuck, and also had the other Simon that are currently with him, and a little bit of more of a bolster force from the Shinobi of Iwakari village, bro, we would have been fine. The other Simon wouldn't have died. We would have been able to keep all the other criminals in check. But who knows? It probably would have gone a different way, or I feel like it's the same sort of thing would have happened. It's just that their eyes would have been opened, and they would have been more accepting to some of these criminals early on. Whereas right now they're not, because they're finding the remains or like personal attachments or personal like belongings of these Asaimon and realizing that they are dead. And just immediately believing that it's the criminals that killed them, which probably, in some cases, yes, it was, but some of those criminals also have already died, whereas the criminals that have survived have made it by working together with the Asaimon and them eventually learning how to, learning about each other and just coexisting. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna get messy, bro. It's gonna get messy. Like, they're gonna fuck. This is pissing me off because I just know they're gonna fuck something up, like at the perfect, like the worst timing ever, and it's just gonna mess up our what we got going on for ourselves right now, fighting the Tensen. I just know it is, and there's gonna be no time for explaining. There's gonna be no time for, a fucking talk to hash it out and be like, yo, look, you need to chill the fuck out. We're working together. You haven't been on this island for as long as we have. Get your bitch ass behind me. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not gonna be any time for that. It's just gonna be chaotic, which is gonna be entertaining, but god damn, bro. What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Amazing episode of Hell's Paradise Season 2, Episode 21 down. Bro, we were getting some really good stuff. Like, ever since, like, that episode where we first saw Ron transform and Gabimaru versus Ron, which I think was, like, 2 episodes ago. Dude. Oh my god, bro. I just realized I said Season 2, Episode 21. That's the episode total. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Episode 8 of Season 2 is what we just watched. Oh my god, bro. So we get a lot of a interesting look into Tamiya or Gantetsusai's like backstory, which we haven't really learned more about him ever since yet. So it was nice to get a little bit of a backstory for him. And see, like, his goal was always just to be like the best swordsman, the fastest swordsman, like, have all these titles attached to him being a swordsman or the strongest. And it was almost like too much, but like he did achieve a lot and he was very strong, but his whole goal was to like etch his name in history. And it looks like he had some sort of, mentor, like some sort of old man that like looked after him and was very wise. He didn't really understand a lot of the shit that he would be saying to him in terms of like, I guess, advice or just what to expect whenever you get older. You're young now. It's okay for now, but once you get older, you gotta cast off some of that extra stuff and just, you know, focus on one thing, or, you know, cast all of it off. And that's one thing that he hears while he's fighting Tao Fa again. Once Fuchi realizes, wait, I can hinder her if you attack her while I'm touching her tandon, or whatever the fuck it is, like the core, basically, that takes them out if you land a successful blow, then we'll actually be able to defeat her. So he holds on to her while he tells Gantetsusai to cut her and be very precise. And, like, actually, you know, kind of like taunts him, like, oh, it'd be easy for an Simon, you know, it's child's play. Like, really, you know, trying to get him motivated to actually do it. And that's why he commits even more after he like thinks back to that old man, and the old man says, you know, cast off everything. You'll find everything within that. And just like I thought, he closes that right eye, the last eye that he has left, completely, you know, just feeling the Tao and that only, instead of relying on vision. Actually succeeds in cutting her and fucks her up. And Jufa feels this sensation because they're so, like, connected to each other. And they are the only two that are like that out of all the other Tensen. And then we get a little bit of a flashback with them two and how they grew up and how Rian was once kind. Jufa had a nice conversation with Mei. And so we can see that Rian and Mei were definitely the first ones that were made by the Grandmaster. And then they were, like, coinciding on raising the rest of these Tensen, which eventually Mei probably disagreed with what was going to happen with, or what Rian wanted to do, so that's why she was banished. And then Jufa even realized himself that Rian's kindness went away. It, like, disappeared. And they always, I guess, were kind of scared of the Dochi, or, like, you know, the Soshin, or at least Tao Fa was. I don't think Jufa is, but he wasn't really good at, like, studying. Which, like, all the other Tensen, like, had no issues with that. They weren't scared of the Shoshin or Doshi. They could study easily. These two, like, relied on each other in supporting whatever they lacked. And they were the only ones that are like that. And then he didn't like seeing Tao Fa get hurt at all. And that's when he has this conversation with Mei, basically explaining that, you know, you can feel your own pain, but we can only imagine the pain of another. And if you are imagining it, that means that you're a kind person. We see that, and then Rian, this is where that change happens, and he basically forces Jufa to grow up, which I'm assuming he does the same thing to the rest of them, or at least Tao Fa, so they can, because they were, you know, starting, their training was starting to get serious in which department they were, like, which focus they were going to be training in, and for them it was Bochu Jutsu. So I don't know if it's, it feels like maybe that he only forced those two to grow up because they were children at the time. Like, are you telling me that fucking children are just going to be having sex for training? Okay, so he forces the both of them to grow up. Maybe he did it for all of them, since, you know, this was the moment of them getting serious about their training. But I feel like he did it just for them two, just to start performing Bochu Jutsu to train, which is fucked up. And that's where we go. That's where we see Jufa say, like, yeah, Rian's kindness had disappeared. It vanished. And he was so close with Tao Fa, obviously, by performing his Bochu Jutsu and whatever. They're training together. Only got closer and closer, and so they care about each other a lot. And he especially cares over Tao Fa, like, you know, and really feels like some of the feelings that she feels. And they started to think, like, are we the crazy ones? Because, like, the rest of the Tensen, they could just smile. They didn't feel anything about these types of things that they did, or that made them anxious. And so Jufa starts to think, are we the crazy ones? Like, what the fuck? But it's really just a normal human feeling. But, you know, in this environment with the rest of these Tensen, yeah, you probably would feel crazy, because you two are the only ones that act this way or be different compared to them. Very interesting. We see a little bit more of the rest of this flashback and them, you know, relying on each other, and it seems like there was a turning point for Tao Fa where initially she didn't want to participate in something with, like, the Hoko or something like that, whereas this time now she was, and I feel like it was mainly because they wanted to still survive together, because if they didn't attract more humans, they're not perfectly immortal, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like she was willing to sacrifice, like, how strongly she felt about something to be able to continue to live with Jufa, which he noticed and recognized, and then was able to, like, reinforce that feeling that she had, or recognize that she was pushing herself. She was trying her hardest to look the other way or do something that she normally wouldn't do. Very, very interesting. And then that's when we finally see the transformation, and it looks fucking insane, obviously, because it's two different beings transformed into one. They're a Kishikai transformation. I think that's what it's called. Kishikai transformation. So that's what the transformation is actually called, which we've seen Ron's Kishikai already. Haven't gotten back to that yet. Gabimaru looked like he was fucking dead. I hope we get back to that at some point. But yeah, we see their transformation, two fused into one, and I mean, they look ridiculous, bro. It's like the picture of them like behind with the red moon behind them, like that looks crazy, bro. And we see an insane exchange between Chobei and their Kishikai transformation, and it took like everything out of them. So it looks like all four of them are gonna have to work together to be able to fight this thing, which is fucking dope as shit. Like, such a different mix of personalities in this group of four. And then we finally get an end credit for what I've been talking about for the past couple episodes. These newcomers, we finally catch up with them again. Looks like they have found even more confirmation of Asainmon's deaths, which is only fueling the rage more for these criminals, which they don't even know what they're going through. This is what I'm saying, bro. It's gonna be messy as fuck once they actually find out, get the Horai, which they have realized that's where everybody's at because they've been fighting Doshi, and Doshi have gave up the information. And this crazy fuck, he gains the horse whistle from one of these Doshi and decides to use it, and now they're transporting themselves with these monsters. This guy is off his rocker, bro. Dude, once they show up, it's fucked, bro. And obviously the shinobi, or like the leader of the shinobi, that one, girl shinobi, is kind of feeding his rage, or feeding his I guess just not like dismissing it, because they have their own goal within this. They're not trying to, they're following orders and doing whatever they have to do for the Asaimon since they were assigned this, but that's just the guys. Their actual mission is to kill Gabimaru, which, like, bro, this shit is gonna get messy as fuck when they pull up, bro. The end of the season, like literally from episode 6 to the end of this season, has been absolutely phenomenal. But really, it's just since the season started, like action, like moving right away, like not too much downtime. Like I've thoroughly enjoyed this season. It's been amazing. So that does it. I yapped a lot. That was a fucking jam-packed episode. Yeah, I yapped a fuck ton. But regardless, I enjoyed it. Can't wait for next week. If you guys enjoyed the reaction, please like down below. Comment, subscribe if new, hit that notification bell so the next one's dropping. I'll see you on the next one. Y'all be good. Deuces.